Hymns to the night. Before all the wondrous shows of the widespread space around him, what living sentient thing loves not the all-joyous light, with its colors, its rays and undulations, its gentle omnipresence in the form of the wakening day? The giant world of the unresting constellations inhales it as the innermost soul of life, and floats dancing in its blue flood. The sparkling, ever-tranquil stone, the thoughtful, imbibing plant, and the wild, burning, multiform beast inhales it. But more than all, the lordly stranger with the sense-filled eyes, the swaying walk, and the sweetly closed, melodious lips. Like a king over earthly nature, it rouses every force to countless transformations, binds and unbinds innumerable alliances, hangs its heavenly form around every earthly substance. Its presence alone reveals the marvelous splendor of the kingdoms of the world. Aside, I turn to the holy, unspeakable, mysterious night. Afar lies the world, sunk in a deep grave, waste and lonely is its place. In the chords of the bosom blows a deep sadness. I am ready to sink away in drops of dew and mingle with the ashes. The distances of memory, the wishes of youth, the dreams of childhood, the brief joys and vain hopes of a whole long life arise in gray garments, like an evening vapor after the sunset. In other regions the light has pitched its joyous tents. What if it should never return to its children, who wait for it with the faith of innocence? What springs up all at once so sweetly, boding in my heart, and stills the soft air of sadness? Dost thou also take a pleasure in us, dark night? What holdest thou under thy mantle that with hidden power affects my soul? Precious balm drips from thy hand out of its bundle of poppies. Thou upliftest the heavy-laden wings of the soul. Darkly and inexpressibly are we moved. Joy-startled, I see a grave face that, tender and worshipful, inclines toward me, and, amid manifold and tangled locks, reveals the youthful loveliness of the mother. How poor and childish a thing seems to me now the light! How joyous and welcome the departure of the day! Because the night turns away from thee, thy servants, you now strew in the gulfs of space those flashing orbs to proclaim thy omnipotence, thy return in seasons of thy absence. More heavenly than those glittering stars, we hold the eternal eyes which the night hath opened within us. Farther they see than the palest of those countless hosts. Needing no aid from the light, they penetrate the depths of a loving soul that fills a loftier region with its bliss ineffable. Glory to the Queen of the world, to the great prophet of the holier worlds, to the guardian of blissful love. She sends thee to me, thou tenderly beloved, the gracious son of the night. Now I am awake, for now am I thine and mine. Thou hast made me know the night, made of me a man. Consume with spirit fire my body, that I, turned to finer air, may mingle more closely with thee, and then our bridal night endure forever. 2. Must the morning always return? Will the despotism of the earthly never cease? Unholy activity consumes the angel visit of the night. Will the time never come when love's hidden sacrifice shall burn eternally? To the light a season was set, but everlasting and boundless in the dominion of the night, endless in the duration of sleep. Holy sleep, gladden not too seldom in this earthly day-labor the devoted servant of the night. Fools alone mistake thee, knowing not of sleep but the shadow which in the twilight of the real night thou pitifully castest over us. They feel thee not in the golden flood of the grapes, in the magic oil of the almond tree, and the brown juice of the poppy. They know not that it is thou who hauntest the bosom of the tender maiden, and makest a heaven of her lap. Never suspect it is thou, opening the doors to heaven, that steppest to meet them out of ancient stories, bearing the key to the dwellings of the blessed, silent messenger of secrets infinite. 3. Once when I was shedding bitter tears, when, dissolved in pain, my hope was melting away, and I stood alone by the barren mound which in its narrow dark bosom hid the vanished form of my life, lonely as never yet was lonely man, driven by anxiety unspeakable, powerless, and no longer anything but a conscious misery. As there I looked about me for help, unable to go on or to turn back, and clung to the fleeting, extinguished life with an endless longing. Then, out of the blue distances, from the hills of my ancient bliss, came a shiver of twilight, and at once snapped the bond of birth, the chains of the light. Away fled the glory of the world, and with it my mourning. The sadness flowed together into a new, unfathomable world. Thou, night inspiration, heavenly slumber, didst come upon me. The region gently upheaved itself. Over it hovered my unbound, new-bound spirit. The mound became a cloud of dust, and through the cloud I saw the glorified face of my beloved. In her eyes eternity reposed. I laid hold of her hands, and the tears became a sparkling bond that could not be broken. Into the distance swept by, like a tempest, thousands of years. On her neck I welcomed the new life with ecstatic tears. It was the first, the only dream, and just since then I have held fast an eternal, unchangeable faith in the heaven of the night and its light, the beloved. 4. Now I know when will come the last morning, when the light no more scares away night and love, when sleep shall be without waking, and but one continuous dream. I feel in me a celestial exhaustion. Long and weariful was my pilgrimage to the holy grave, and crushing was the cross. The crystal wave, which, imperceptible to the ordinary sense, springs in the dark bosom of the mound against whose foot breaks the flood of the world. He who has tasted it, he who has stood on the mountain frontier of the world and looked across into the new land, into the abode of the night, truly, he turns not again into the tumult of the world, into the land where dwells the light in ceaseless unrest. On those heights he builds for himself tabernacles of peace. There longs and loves and gazes across until the welcomest of all hours draws him down into the waters of the spring. Afloat above remains what is earthly and is swept back in storms, but what became holy by the touch of love runs free through hidden ways to the region beyond, where, like fragrances, it mingles with love asleep. Still wakest thou, cheerful life, that weary man to his labor, and into me pourest joyous life, but thou wildest me not away from memory's moss-grown monument. Gladly will I stir busy hands, everywhere behold where thou hast need of me. Praise the luster of thy splendor, pursue unwearied the lovely harmonies of thy skilled handicraft. Gladly contemplate the clever pace of thy mighty, luminous clock. Explore the balance of the forces and the laws of the wondrous play of countless worlds and their seasons. But true to the night remains my secret heart, and to creative love, her daughter. Canst thou show me a heart eternally true? Has thy sun friendly eyes that know me? Do thy stars lay hold of my longing hand, and return me the tender pressure and the caressing word? Was it thou did adorn them with colors and flickering outline, or was it she who gave to thy jewels a higher, dearer weight? What delight, what pleasure offers thy life to outweigh the transports of death? Wears not everything that inspires us the color of the night? She sustains thee mother-like, and to her thou owest all thy glory. Thou wouldst vanish into thyself, in boundless space thou wouldst dissolve, if she did not hold thee fast, if she swaddled thee not, so that thou grewest warm and flaming, begot the universe. Truly I was, before thou wast, the mother sent me with my brothers and sisters to inhabit thy world, to hallow it with love that it might be an ever-present memorial, to plant it with flowers unfading. As yet they have not ripened, these thoughts divine. As yet is there small trace of our coming revelation. One day thy clock will point to the end of time, and then thou shalt be as one of us, and shalt, full of ardent longing, be extinguished, and die. I feel in me the close of thy activity, heavenly freedom and blessed return. With wild pangs, I recognize thy distance from our home, thy resistance against the ancient, glorious heaven. Thy rage and thy raving are in vain. Unscorchable stands the cross, victory banner of our breed. Over I journey, and for each pain a pleasant sting only shall one day remain. Yet in a few moments then free am I, and intoxicated in love's lap lie. Life everlasting lifts, wave-like at me, I gaze from its summit down after thee. Your luster must vanish. Yon mound underneath, a shadow will bring thee, thy cooling wreath. Oh, draw at my heart, love, draw till I'm gone, that, fallen asleep, I still may love on. I feel the flow of death's youth-giving flood to balsam and ether transform my blood. I live all the daytime in faith and in might, and in holy fire I die every night.